This is a teardown of an HP 2530-24 POE plus switch, part number J9779A. And this thing is pretty filthy on the outside, but hopefully not on the inside. Oop, all right, screwdriver bit. And cover slides off. Reveal the innards. Fans aren't toast on this one. Got a little breakout board here for the front I/O. This board here is the POE power board. It's pretty common to see switches designed like this where the POE board is separate from the main control board. Shoot. Kind of like it from a design standpoint, although I don't think it really matters much from a repairability standpoint, because it's not like you're going to be able to buy a POE board. Oop. Oh, that's cool. A little interconnect there for communication. Otherwise it looks like a standard APS 12-volt style connector. So yeah, no, it's kind of filthy on the inside. Not as bad as another HP switch I did recently, which that video should have came out before this one, in theory. Oh man. I think both of the switches came from the same customer though, based on the color of the dust. Oh man. Well, they're just screwed into place. I don't feel like grabbing the right tool to loosen these, so we're just going to use the side cutters and call it a day. Oh, those are cool. Standoffs are threaded on both sides. That means one less screw they have to use. Well, actually two. Nah, one. I don't know. Because it's serving double duty. It's holding the board down and it's being used as a standoff for the upper board. Now, I'm not very confident in my ability to get that heatsink off, but we will find out. Oh. It has pins around the edges. That'll be interesting. We'll save that for later. Let's get this power supply out real quick here. Get rid of that. This hasn't been plugged in for a while, so I can be somewhat careless, even though I don't recommend handling power supplies like this. Just your typical switch mode power supply. Huh. Just trying to figure out which way is in and out. Alright, now there's the input side there. So yeah, for some reason, a lot of the high voltage side is over here. It's quite a bit. And then we got the isolation gap and So the output, I don't know if it's labeled. Oh, there we go. We got 12.3 volts and negative 54 volts. So, yeah, not too uncommon. Alright, so then next we'll pull out this breakout board for the front I/O. Not much to see here. A bunch of LEDs, a micro USB port, RJ45 port. That's probably a controller for the LEDs. Yeah. The way the power jack is mounted is a little interesting. So it's a little metal riser. Oh, there's some like filter caps or something on it. Different. If anything, those would be self-contained inside of like a metal housing. That's part of the power jack, but I don't know. Maybe there's a good reason for the way this is the way it is. Snap fit in there, but I'm not going to fight with that to get it out. If you want to see what the fans are, I think I can get in there. That's what the fans are. AVC branded, pretty common in OEM electronics like this. Now this heat sink, I'm going to have to pop loose. Oh, nope. I'm hearing bad sounds. I hear the BGA pads getting ripped off the board. That does not sound like it's working the way I want it to. It might be, I don't know. It might actually be the sound of the thermal adhesive tearing. It's either that or I'm ripping the heat spreader off the chip. Oh, no, it's just the thermal adhesive being wonky. I don't like hearing the tearing sound because usually that means the chip's being pulled off the board. But there's the switch chip. And we got some smaller Broadcom chips here for the SFP and RJ45 ports that are probably shared. Nope, not shared. Alright. Yeah, so one chip probably controls these two ports, the other controls those two, or maybe not. Look at traces here. Maybe each one of these controls one of these ports. And under this fancy sticker here, we should have probably something interesting. If I can get it off. It's tearing. Oh well. Anywho, got some Nanya memory there and an unidentifiable chip with some numbers on it. Neat. Got some Micron flash storage here. You can see the logo on the side of the sticker. Otherwise, nothing else to see on the bottom. So yeah, I think that's all there is to see. So hopefully that was interesting, and thanks for watching.